Titan Uncensored. We're here with Mr. PJ Savage. You know, he just loves us so much, and that's why he keeps coming back, you know. Look at this guy. Welcome back, Mr. Savage. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me on once again.
I want to talk about, now that we're in March 25th is like kind of a big deal, right? Yeah. We have the free-for-all for Chosen, and we have a whole bunch of other promotions that are going to be there to scope out talent for themselves as well.
Yeah, a lot.
Scope out talent for themselves as well. I know that like Goddesses will be there, Titan, the people from Chosen, IWA.
Yeah, we got IWA, we got Pro Wrestling Magic. Wrestling is now. No, I'm forgetting one.
We
are wrestling. And
Invictus.
Invictus Pro Wrestling there's a lot more. We haven't announced everything. There might be some more.
And Funhouse.
Yes, and Funhouse and Titan, of course.
So what are you most looking forward to just for the free-for-all?
Oh, man, I'm looking forward to the whole day. It's going to be fun. Just the tryout that's written out. Like, I was Johnny's trainer for a long time. Johnny Rod's WW, Lisa's gym. I trained a lot of the guys that came out of there. So it's like, this is like me going back to my roots and training people again and touching upon that, which I love. I love that stuff. It helped me become a better wrestler. So I'm looking forward to just being in that grind with them for how many hours? I think it's 8 to 3.
Yeah.
We're just going to be in a
hours.
grind.
What?
We're just all going to be in a grind together, and it's just going to be fun. And just being there and seeing, like, because a lot of guys that are coming to this are really hungry.
Right.
There's a lot of guys that I've spoken to that already have reserved their spots that are just, like, pouring passion and just want to be seen. So, and it's a lot of guys like that.
Right.
So it's going to be amazing, man. It's going to be amazing. Not even to mention there's going to be a documentary crew there from Mofi TV. They're just filming everything. It's just going to be awesome. It's going to be filming the journey from the free-for-all all the way up to Monsoon 3 or 4. I don't know which Monsoon is, but the anniversary show for Titan. So
I think it's 4.
4, right? It has to be 4.
I think it's
4.
Yeah,
it's definitely 4. But yeah, man, it's going to be awesome. I can't wait. I just can't wait for that day. I can't wait to be there 5 a.m. I can't wait.
Whoa. Not 5 a.m.
I'm going to be there at 5.
I don't know how you're going to get in the building.
Well, no, I'll be outside. I'll probably be sleeping in the car. I might have to sleep over somebody's house that's local over there the night before. Because
there's plenty of us.
It's going to be insane. So, but me and Jerry, everybody knows Jerry. Jerry's a good friend of mine. We're planning on heading up there like 5, 6 in the morning and sleeping in the car because I got to meet with the Mofi TV people
an
hour before the tryout starts. Have a whole rundown and do all that stuff. So it's good stuff, man. I like this kind of stuff. This is like up my wheelhouse. So I'm having fun with it.
It's very exciting. It's very exciting to see that, you know, going back to your roots, going to now. And, you know, some of these guys are going to be like, oh, well, I want to be like PJ Savage. And I want to do something like this in the future. Because, you know, our bodies get old, times get tough, you know, whatever reasons. And you're going to make an impact on those people, I'm sure, for sure.
It's cool. I had this conversation last night with a couple people. And I'm still in the grind, just like them. Like the grind of professional wrestling and trying to seek a contract. I'm throwing spaghetti on the wall, seeing with sticks, just like them. So it's cool to just be in the trenches with them and also help open doors to get opportunities because that's what I'm all about. Like, I'm all about just helping out the next guy as much as I can. Like, one of the things that I'm so excited for when I do get to be blessed with a contract with whatever major company I sign for, just to be able to help and give back. Like, I can't wait to help with the homeless. I can't wait to give back to certain programs and charities and make an impact in my community. I can't wait to be that guy, be able to be that guy, to have funds and do things like that. I cannot wait for stuff like that. So I'm always going to be the guy that helps out the next person
Right.
But it's great to start to do that with my peers, guys that I'm in the trenches with, guys that I was on the shows with. You were at IWA at the YouTube tapings.
Yeah.
Basically, half of those guys is going to be at the Chosen tryout.
I
So
love that.
it's going to be so cool just to be in there and be in that grind. You were already in a grind with me. We were there from 9 a.m. to all night. We left at 11 o'clock at night.
Yep. That was a long.
That's a grind. That's also a grind. Crazy. And matter of fact, come the 25th is going to be very similar because you got Courage and Power that night. Yep. So it's going to be very similar, just an all day thing, just being in the grind. I love it. I
live for it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
You mean you want to start it at 5 a.m. and leave at 1 a.m.? That's fine. We can do that.
I don't think that's probably like 10% of the wrestlers on this whole planet that would show up there at 5 a.m. for a tryout. we get a lot of dropouts. I think one of the appeals to being a wrestler is that you get to make your own hours, and most of the times is at night for 4 hours.
Right.
So, wrestlers don't like to wake up that early, so they're probably pissed I'm making them wake up so early at 8. But hopefully they fuel that and put that into some promos like I did the first free for all with Titan.
Absolutely. So I wanted to ask you, how do you feel? I understand that, Chosen is a brand of Titan, but how do you feel to be running like your own brand pretty much? You're in charge here. Like you're the guy who's putting everything together. Ultimately everything is, you and Billy's decision. So what, how do you feel about that? Is it overwhelming? Like how?
Billy keeps saying it too. He keeps texting me. I'm not going to get in your way. All the decisions you make are final. I'm not getting in your way. I don't care who goes over, what goes over. You're booking, you're doing this. But honestly, man, again, I had this conversation with a couple people last night. And I've been bred for this, man. Like one of the guys I studied before I even started wrestling that I always knew I wanted to get into wrestling. I always studied Dusty Rhodes. Dusty was somebody that I admired so much from afar, studying old WCW pay-per-views and tapes. Not even the wrestler Dusty, not even the guy that was in WWE with the polka dots. It was Dusty from the 70s. That was the Dusty that I was enamored with. And then Dusty in the 80s that was creating the first Starcades and going against Ric Flair and Harley. But he was so creative and he was doing it on both sides of the fence. And I admired that a lot. And also, I also studied a lot of Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman's a guy that, like, I have so much respect for. Probably right next to Dusty and Vince McMahon, Paul Heyman would probably get some of the highest regards of respect that I could ever offer to somebody, just for what he did in his business, being a manager, being in the business, how he got in the business from being a little scumbag photographer, just like Nettie, and just working his way up in the business and sneaking into the garden and then getting his way with people and using his connections. Like, that's a hustler, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's somebody that he lights up my eyes, because that's me. I'm a hustler. I'm trying to find every way I could get in this business because no one's doing it for me. It's only me.
Right.
And, so I've always had a love for that backstage side. I'll tell you something funny, and a lot of people don't know this. This will probably be a Titan Uncensored exclusive.
Let me get my tea. Hold on. Go ahead.
About 4 years. I think it was 4. It had to be 4 years. 4 years before I started wrestling. So this had to be 2012 or 13. I just couldn't get into wrestling, but I always wanted to be around it. So there's a letter that I actually still have that I sent to Vince Russo, asking him to be his protege, asking him to help him and if he could teach me how to write shows and do all that stuff, because I wanted to be a wrestler, but there's no avenue for me to get into it. So if he can help me get into that side of the business. Of course, he never answered me. But I mean, for good reason, because I probably would have only been a writer or a backstage.
Right.
And that kind of funneled me into just getting the confidence to end up becoming a professional wrestler in 2016, 4 years later. So, but yeah, that's some little tidbits. So I've always had the love for this little backstage side of it. And then at Johnny's, to give you more insight on me, when I was training over at Johnny's, the first 2 years was just solely wrestler. It was just focusing on me getting in shape and in ring and focusing on fundamentals. Johnny knew there was something more to me. He always picked my brain. He always knew there was something extra. And that's when he gave me the okay to start helping him book shows. So I would be in there helping him book the shows, putting certain guys with certain guys, going through the weeks, training, see who meshes well. And then day of the shows, he would sit me in the booking office and close the door. No one else was allowed in but me and him. And I gained so much experience from Johnny Ross. Like, this guy's been in the business since 1950 something.
Right.
And I'm here learning how to book from a guy who learned how to book from Arnold Skolin, from a guy who learned how to book from Vince McMahon Sr., who was in those same meetings with him. So it was pretty damn cool. And then he gave me the okay to run my first show, which was the September Challenge. It was like, all right, Savage, you're gonna book this by yourself. Okay. And mind you, this had to be 2018. This had to be 2018, and that was a cool experience. And then he let me do a YouTube show, which was called WW Flash. And I was booking and directing and coming up with all the storylines, even though he hated storylines. But he gave me leeway to do all that stuff. So when I hit the indies, and I knew 2 years ago, I knew it would be hard to jump right back into that role. When I was with Johnny's, I was a leader. I was who's doing all the backstage stuff. I was the locker room leader. I was the head of the locker room. I was the head trainer. I was the heavyweight champion. I was all these things, and I knew when I came out to the indies, I wasn't going to be any of that. I was going to be the green guy. You're a rookie. You got to come in. You got to earn your stripes. And there was very few people that kind of asked me and started to pick my brain about, like, do I want to do backstage stuff, or can I come up with stuff? And Titan was one of the first people. Billy, he gave me the producer role. IWA, that was like right off the back. Once he started his new era, he was looking at, he would talk to me a lot. And this is Frank. Love Frank. Frank is become someone very to me. He would come to me all the time and ask me, oh, what do you think about this booking? What do you think about this booking? Until one day we kind of just sat down with each other, talked for hours. And then he was like, well, puppy, I'm going to give you everything. You're going to do it.
I hear it. Yeah, I see the resemblance. You do a very good impression. Yes. It was
he's very similar to Johnny. So it was like going from one Johnny to another. So IW is very different. It's a lot of local talent. Right. There's a lot of local guys there, and it's a smaller little venue, but it's always the only sold out show I've been on for a long time. You know what I'm saying? They're always putting 200 people in that little ass building. So it's pretty cool, man. And I started with him, and now with Billy, and now Billy put me in this position with CPW, with Chosen. And we've talked, we've had a lot of conversations going back and forth. And Billy watches everything.
He does.
Everything like a hawk. And if he doesn't see it, he has his little birdies watching for him, and they go back to him and tell him. And he came out of nowhere, but I think he knew I was running a lot of things, because everybody knows that. Well, even backtrack back to May, TakeOver versus STP for Invictus Pro Wrestling. That was me. I was the booker. I was the person who put together the whole show. I put together the venue, Invictus bringing them in to the fold and doing all that stuff. So, and a lot of people don't know that, but very few people did know that. And Billy, I think, was one of those few people that did know, was in the know that I was running that show. Alex Aceta from Invictus, the promoter from Invictus, who was there, he was helping us run the show. He provided the referees and the ring aprons and stuff, so the show it wouldn't be blank. You know what I'm saying? It had the help from him. And he was like, well, what's the booking? And I had to book up the show. I had to send him the times. And he was like, well, this is kind of good. You've been doing this a while, huh? I was like, nope, don't even go there, because I ain't doing it for Invictus. But it's just pretty cool, man. Like, I've been in this spot a couple times already. So being in this spot with CPW, and more of like, this is a true role, and going forward, like, this is my baby. Like, yes, I'm the producer, and I'm not the owner, but I am the owner. Like, this is my baby. Like, I'm running with this one. Like, CPW's mine. I don't care what Billy says. It's mine, man. And I'm going to run with it. And this talent that I want on CPW, this talent that I want to be on CPW. And I can't wait. And it all starts at the tryout, and I'm so excited for it.
I'm so excited too.
And one of the rules, I even talked to Billy about this. I just don't want to wrestle unless it's very, very, very important, or it makes all the sense in the world. But I'm not going to be the guy that runs a company and puts the belt on him. I'm not going to be the guy that runs the company and it's about him in the main event and doing all this other stuff. Yes, I kind of do right for IWA and all this stuff, and I am heavyweight champion at IWA. It's right here. But that all started after I won the belt. All right, you marks. So we're just running. We're just running with it. But it's pretty cool, man. And Frank makes all the final decisions over there. So Chosen's my baby, and I'm staying out of it. I'm gonna get me a headset. And I'm gonna walk around like Billy with a
friend. Get that headset.
That's it. It's not gonna be connected to anything. I'm not even gonna be talking to nobody. I'm just gonna walk around with the headset and a flannel.
I was gonna say, then you don't have an excuse to decline some calls that you get at 3 a.m.
Oh, Jesus Christ! I'm notorious. I am notorious for not answering my phone. Just throughout my whole life. Throughout my whole life, like I won't even answer for my mother. She could be calling me at 2 a.m. and I don't call me. I'm sleeping. Like I don't answer phone calls. I don't answer text messages. I'm horrible. And the more I started to dip my feet into this wrestling with running shows and booking shows, now I don't get off my phone. And certain people, Billy, he knows when to catch me. He knows when he'll catch me, like, right, I'll share something, and then all of a sudden my phone starts ringing.
Yep.
This bastard knows I was on my phone. I can't ignore this one. So it's pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool. But again, just to answer your question, there's no pressure at all. This is my wheelhouse. I love doing this.
It's crazy to see, like, and I say this all the time about all of you Titan, I call you guys originals, right? So, like, from the Ocean Gate show days till now, like, wow, PJ's running his own promotion. Good for him, Like, it's exciting. It's so exciting.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It's when you put all the stuff in just you lay it all out and you look at it from afar, you stand back and look at it. Yeah, hell yeah, it's pretty cool. And to know that, like, I've only been on the indies for 2 years, and, like, I've done some pretty cool stuff in 2 years. There's guys that I've been on shows with and I'm booking that are asking me for advice, and they've been on the indies for 8 to 10 years.
Right.
And I'll never take that for granted, and I'll never throw that in anyone's face. I was in Johnny's for 4 to 5 years grinding, and he wouldn't let me do the indies. But that time doesn't count. I know it doesn't. So out here, I'm 2 months in. I'm a baby. I'm 2 years in. I'm a baby out here. I'm green, But that's when I get in the ring. It's like, oh, he's not green. Shit, this guy hits hard. And then when I get into that leader role and start helping with the producing, and I can show you all the notebooks that I have just writing.
Oh, here we go with these notebooks.
Yeah, the famous notebooks. I have so many of them.
These notebooks.
I drive my wife and my kids crazy. There's notebooks all around the house just with random stuff on it. And I always have to switch it because then my son Lucas likes to draw in them. He acts like me, so he starts drawing in them, and then it's all scribble scrabble. I'm like, damn, that was like episode 3. Shit, I need a new notebook. And one of the things that I started doing, so I would study UFC. So UFC does this thing called Countdown and Embedded.
Okay.
They always do it the week of the fight, the big fight. Like this week is John Jones. So all week every day they'll upload a video called the Embedded, and right before that they'll upload the Countdown. So I'll study those, take notes, like because they know how to build up fights. Right. So I'm studying those, so that way I know how to build up CPW, IWA, build up myself. I take notes for myself.
Right.
How can I take from this, pull from Dana White, what he said? How can I pull from Triple H and make it PJ Savage? You know what I'm saying? And use it to like get signed, get somewhere in life, and then I can pass on that information to the future. But I've taken so much. Like right now, I just started. This is gonna sound funny as hell, but I started studying cartoons.
Okay.
So how do you like tell the story of PJ Savage? It's hard, Like how do you go with the main character and you go from character A to B to C and the old Batman animated series?
Okay.
He runs through villains every episode. Spawn, the HBO series. It's him going through all these different obstacles that always lead to the one single boss, which is Malbolgia. But and like Batman, the Joker, but it's a way to study to figure out how to put in different villains into my storyline. So how can I fit in Craig Steele? How can I fit in Anthony Gangone? How can I fit in TJ Marconi? How can I fit in all these other characters into what's my story? Because that's what I'm telling. I'm telling my story. Other guys like Steve Monster Mac's going to tell his story. He's going to tell it how he wants to. No one's telling my story. Right. Someone can write up a whole story for me and write out the whole year, but at the end of the day, it's going to be me telling my story through my promos and my brand. So I study so much. I dive deep. I get into my notebooks. You've seen all the notebooks. You saw some of them. Sometimes I leave them just laying around. They're like, "Hey, Savage, don't you need this?" No, I don't need it. I got like 10 There's notes on this though. I don't give a shit. Just throw it in the garbage and just keep it. I don't care. Yeah, I'm nuts, man. I'm a freak.
I'm gonna get you your own like sparkly notebook, your own chosen notebook.
It won't last. You know what's funny? I do have one notebook. I don't know if it's over here. I had this notebook. What year? I want to say 2010, 2011. I started a clothing line.
Okay.
Yeah, this is like young PJ trying to be an entrepreneur.
Look at you.
Started a clothing line, and the notebook said money on it. It was From Time and Money, like the company, the Money magazine.
Right.
So, and at the time I was working for Time Inc., the magazine. So they were working with all the other magazines, and I got this notebook that said money, and I wrote on top of it, I need money. And I would just write all my ideas and stuff in there. So that notebook is still with me to this day, because that's like the notebook that's taking me through my broke years with all my ass ideas. And the moment I signed that contract with WWE or AEW, I'm going to put that on one of my shelves and just leave it up there.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. I mean, it's been a crazy year for you.
Yeah, it's been insane.
Like, I don't really know what else to say at that. What I do have to ask you before we leave here, when is your next episode of Savage Season coming up?
Well,
I know you just posted one, but we need another one. Okay.
So they're coming out every 5 to 7 days. So the problem I have right now is I don't want to push episodes out all the time. I do wish I wrestled so if I was in WWE and if they let me ever do stuff like this, WWE's on the road a couple days, they do the live shows and they do Raw, I would probably upload every day.
Right.
Especially like in AEW, they do the toy hunts and all this. There's a lot of vlogging wrestlers out there. I would be one of those guys that would probably upload every single day just to get the content out, 10, 15-minute episodes, just so I can engage with people that support me.
Right.
So right now I have legitimately 5 episodes in the bank. I don't want to keep just throwing them out there. Promo day was funny, so I'll put it up a little bit earlier.
Oh, I was dying. I was like, Jerry just kept talking. I'm like, Jerry, shut up.
There's a poll right now on whether there's going to be an episode without cursing in it.
No, it's not. It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. It wouldn't be you and like your life if it didn't.
Yeah, no. And you know it's going to be awesome? The Savage Season episode on the tryout, on the free-for-all, March 25th. That episode is going to be awesome because whether I stay out in Jersey the night before, that's going to be all documented. Us being in the car at 5 a.m, that's going to be documented. Everything's just going to be documented going up.
I'll make sure I have a phone charger handy for you.
Yeah, please do. And if you want to record some stuff from afar and then send it to me later, you're more than welcome to. Just make sure it's landscape, not like Jerry. Jerry, when he first started hanging out with me, he started to record all my Savage Season stuff like this in portrait mode. Like, Jerry, come on. Now I got to put logos on the side. Now you're giving me more work. Because a lot of people don't know this. For everyone who doesn't know this. So, like, I do have a graphic designer who comes up with my logos. His name is Jesse. That man is phenomenal. But he also lets me have some creative freedom. Like, he'll send me the logo, and I'll do the color changes and stuff. Right. I dab in graphic design. So not only do I do most of my graphics, besides the main logos, Jesse does them. I do all my graphics, but I also do all my editing. I do all the music stuff, like on the IWA show. Right. I'm the one that puts all the name graphics up. I edit the show. I put the show together. I put the promos ready.
You're the graphic guy?
I'm the graphic guy for IW.
Wow. I got a compliment from Frank about how his graphic guy is very impressed with my promo pictures. And I was like, oh, tell him I said thank you, not even realizing it was
me.
me.
It was me. I'm the graphic guy.
Not even realizing it was you.
Yeah, I'm the graphic guy. And it's awesome because like I found apps to just do all this stuff on my phone. So, oh man, like I don't know.
That's so funny.
See it. So like, let me see.
Right there.
There, that one. If you go in here, no, not that. Go into this Express app on my phone. You go to my projects. You'll see everything there.
Nice. Solid.
I'm the
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Frank was like, send me, like, it's funny because, like, as if I don't even know you. Like, he goes, send me the promo shots. So I sent him the promo shots. He's like, oh my gosh, my graphic guy is in heaven right now. And I'm like, okay. Now I don't even have to go through him. I'll just send them to you.
Yeah, you can just send them over straight over to me. That's pretty funny. I even do like the boys when they need 8x10s. I do the 8x10s. So like I do all that stuff. I do all my editing, all my YouTube show. I do a wrestling show. I do my brand. I do my promos, the sirens, and all that. And then I'm promoting for all these companies. And I love it, man. I'm in heaven right now. I just wish the paydays were a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I could get a good little weekly paycheck just from wrestling, doing all this stuff, because this shit don't pay. But it's a lot of work. There's no pay in this business right now. And I never forget what Kevin Owens said. Thank God I heard him say it. He was like, because Kevin Owens was on the Indies for like 16 years.
Right.
And he was like, the first 6 months in WWE, he got paid tenfold what he ever got on his whole entire indie shit. And it's like, that puts it into perspective. Where it's like, once you're on contract, it could all come. And God forbid that contract never comes. I'm not going to stop pushing. I'm going to keep going and keep going. I'm going to make something in this business. I'm going to make this business.
You already are.
I'm going to take over this business. Everybody knows it. I'm going to do it.
You are literally, and I told you this time and time again, you are literally the only heel that can flip off someone in the crowd and they still cheer for you.
The best part at the IWA show, and the guy who was filming it, Carlo, I told him I need that clip. There was a part where I was flipping off Osito's mother and grandmother.
I sent you that picture.
Osito was just bleeding, gushing. And I'm over here flipping them off, playing with the belt, saying all kinds of crazy stuff. And this little girl in a pink jacket, from the corner of my eyes, just jumping up and down. And she's screaming, I love you, Savage. Yes! And it's like, God damn, these kids are vicious out here. I never forget. Oh, one of the shows, a different Titan. I think it was my third show. I have a different Titan. It was in Jackson. No, it was Tom's River. It was outside. It was an outside show. I did Titan Kids with somebody that day. I think it was Bella.
Yeah.
I did Titan Kids interview that day. That night, I had a hardcore match with Chris Barton and Big Rock. And
I think that was in Ocean Gate. It's right by Tom's River, so probably.
Yeah, it could have been. But I was over there having this hardcore match, and all the kids was like, we want blood. Give me blood, little 8-year-old boy. I want blood, Savage. And I'm like, Jersey is different. This is not Johnny Rods, man. This is different. And it's like, that's why a character like me who's just real. I could be a bad guy, I could be a good guy. I'm just gonna be me, no matter what happens when I walk through a curtain. But Jersey, they just like the viciousness. They love the viciousness.
I love that shit.
I love it, man. The kids love the viciousness.
Hey, what can you say? We're from Jersey. That's it. That's all I could say.
At least it ain't Staten Island.
We're from the Jersey Shore. Like the Jersey Shore. Come on.
Oh man. Good times.
So we're gonna promote the free-for-all one more time. The free-for-all, March 25th, Bayville EMS, 660 Atlantic City Boulevard, Bayville, New Jersey.
Yep.
It starts at 8 a.m. Yes.
Yes, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Yes. And bring water. We'll have
Bring water. Bring like if you're a wrestler and you're attending this tryout. So
Please
let me
shower.
give you a little bit of a rundown. Be there before 8. Tryout starts at 8. So people are going to be drilling and rolling, and if you show up late, it ain't going to look good. They're going to be on a back burner. But 8 o'clock it starts. We'll have breaks, 10-minute breaks every hour. That's for changing your shirt and hydrating. So please bring water, bring your shirt. I don't think we're breaking for lunch because I'm gonna be vicious. And it's gonna be a day.
Protein bars, protein, lots and lots.
Protein bars. Bring your protein bars. Maybe I'll let you guys snack on something during promos. But other than that, it's just all gas, no breaks. From 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. So yeah, please bring extra shirts, bring water, bring some protein bars, and just show up ready to go. Yes, of course, like Natty said, go take a shower before you get there.
Thank you, God.
Take a shower. But either way you put it, the workout we're all I'm gonna put these guys through and I'm gonna put myself through. It's not gonna be the best smell.
Would it be appropriate if I got spray deodorant and just started spraying all of you?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably
I thought I'd try, you know?
You could still try. I don't know if it'd be nice, but you can still try.
Anyway, yeah. I wish we weren't live for that one. Anyway, so you said you opened 5 more spots, right? Did I see that?
Yeah. So the tryout, so to let people in on this, we capped it at 60 people.
Yeah.
We broke 60 a long time ago. There was a new cap made. And we're breaking that. Yeah. So, and you know what it is, man? It's not a money grab. It's not. We could be asking for $100. We could be asking for $50 a person. But we're asking for $5. That off the bat's telling every wrestler that's coming through it's not a money grab.
Right.
You're working, you're grinding all day, and there's legit opportunities here. Like we have every company coming in, and every company that's coming in, Invictus, Pro Wrestling Magic, We Are Wrestling, Win, all these companies, they're offering guaranteed spots on their next upcoming shows. Guaranteed to at least 2 talent. That's huge. That means and I'm going to be the representative for a couple of those companies. Of course, I'm going to be the representative for IWA. There's some other stuff in the works. Not the same person's getting chosen for all of these promotions. So let's say if we choose, there's 8 companies, there's 2 spots, that's 16 guys getting shots at different companies. So this is going to be awesome. And plus, we're filling out the 30 to 40 man roster for Chosen Pro Wrestling.
Yep.
So, yes, there's going to be some guys going home that day that don't get a spot. But there's going to be a tidbit that I can't relay right now, which Nettie, you probably know of.
I don't, but after this, I'll get it out of you. Go ahead.
There's a guaranteed opportunity for everyone that shows up to the tryout that will be announced at the tryout. And why we don't announce that, I even let Billy know I don't want this announced at all. I want this announced to the people who show up because I don't want people showing up just because of that. So, with that being said, there's going to be some really cool opportunities for everyone who shows up. And then there's going to be the chosen few that do get chose for Chosen Pro Wrestling, Invictus, Pro Wrestling Magic, Titan, everyone that's involved with this tryout. And it's just going to be awesome. It's an awesome opportunity that this scene hasn't seen in a long time.
So what PJ is trying to tell all of you is that if you're interested in being one of those people that show up and do work and do a whole bunch of, things that day. I don't know what he has planned, but I know he's a hard ass sometimes. So God bless all of you. It's $5. $5. You can either message PJ.
Yeah.
He loves those messages at 3:13 in the morning. He likes the phone call specifically at 5.
I don't like phone.
Or you can email titancwe@gmail.com. I should have probably asked you what that was, huh?
I have it right here. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. Nah, but probably just send me the message. I think that's probably working best right now because from what I've heard, the email is overflooded. Okay. That Titan email is for everything apparently.
Right.
So it's a lot more than just Chosen. So there's people emailing for chances at Titan and chances at this, and just a PSA to everyone. There's no more open spots at Titan. If you want to get into Titan Championship Wrestling, you have to now go through Chosen Pro Wrestling. That is your only option. The only way you get to Titan's big shows. You need to go through Chosen Pro Wrestling, and we're going to give Titan a run for their money. So it's not just, like a little big brother and baby brother thing. No, hell no. We're going to punch Titan in the face, too. We're going to put on some bangers of shows, man. Billy knows it, too. Billy knows I'm coming for him. Moran's excited. Everybody's excited. It's a competition thing. It's like Raw and SmackDown where it's like you got the two brands and everybody's, which brand is better? Who's going to put on the better shows? Right. But all roads do lead to the Titan Championship, Heavyweight Championship, like that's, or the Goddesses of War Women's Championship. Like all roads lead to those belts. Maybe there will be a Chosen Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. Maybe there will be a Chosen Pro Wrestling Tag Team Championships. Maybe a middleweight title. There's a lot of talk, but I can guarantee one thing, and this is what I'll put out there. Whoever's chosen for the Chosen Pro Wrestling roster from this tryout, 5 guaranteed dates, 5 paid dates. They're already set in stone. Buildings are set in stone. The shows are ready to go. They all have names. April 15th, we start with Inception. I'm not telling you the rest of the names because I'm not giving that away, except for the final show because I love it.
I bet my favorite.
And it's so cool. It's CPW presents Final Fight. Oh God, goosebumps already.
I just want to be like, yeah, let's go. Like
it's just a blood sport kind of thing. Where it's like, of course, like in the way of with me writing this, there's gonna be a lot on the line for a lot of people that show. There's gonna be maybe that's where we introduce the Titan Heavyweight, the CPW Heavyweight Championship. Maybe that's where we just put stipulations. Maybe this is where someone gets to go to Monsoon. Maybe this is where someone gets to go challenge for the Goddesses of War Championship. Who knows what comes out of Final Fight? But Final Fight is gonna be fucking huge.
Like I just like a kid, like when you're on Too Much Sugar Rush, we're going to Disney. Like
yeah, exactly. Final Fight is CPW's WrestleMania.
Right.
A lot of companies don't like saying that. A lot of companies like to say this is our anniversary show. This is our big show. Call it what it is. It's WrestleMania. Everybody knows Mount Olympus is WrestleMania. Everybody knows the Climb for Cloud and for Invictus. That's WrestleMania. Final Fight is WrestleMania. It's WrestleMania for CPW. And, oh, God, it's going to be built just like that. I cannot wait to write that show out.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, it really is, though. It really is.
Okay. So, again, March 25th, Bayville EMS, 660 Route 9 in Bayville. It is right next to the dinosaur. You can't miss it.
Yeah, you can't miss it.
It's a big dinosaur. Mr. Savage will probably be there sleeping in the parking lot when you get there. So to make sure you give him a nice knock on the window at 5 a.m. So everything's going to be fine. We will see you all March 25th. Courage and Power. Courage and Power is spotlighting our own Becca Wiley. And we are so very excited to see what Courage and Power has in store for us. So thank you, PJ, for your time and efforts. I appreciate you. And we will see you next time.